Welcome to the Gus Alva Perspective, a videocast that focuses on a mindset of abundance and gratitude over the mindset of scarcity and fear. Scarcity and fear can paralyze your life, and what we're about is helping individuals elevate their game. The theme that I'd like to address today in this videocast is strategies on tapering off of electronics. Now, why would I actually come up with a theme like this? Well, it's really interesting. The news last week on sort of the medical side of things spoke about the fact that nearly 3/4 of US teens say they feel happy or peaceful when they don't have their phones with them. And according to a Pew Research Center survey, Pew also found that despite the positive associations with going phone free, most teens have not limited their phone or social media use. And additionally, the majority of teens say smartphones make it a little or a lot easier for people their age to pursue hobbies and interests, be creative. And close to half said that their devices have made it easier for youth to do well in school, and that would then discourage the decreased utilization of electronics. But the problem is that when you take a look at the fact that this is also the source of distraction during conversations, and parents get annoyed by this, it becomes really quite problematic. At the same time, we've been seeing in the news that TikTok is accused of being a conduit for the Chinese Communist Party, since it's owned by a company called ByteDance based in China that could potentially be utilized as a national security risk to the US. And the concern there is that the app could be used to spread misinformation, sow division, and collect data on individuals utilizing their platform. Whatever it is, the important thing here is that sometimes people are just fed up with, the overarching utilization of electronics. So I thought that maybe we could do a video cast that would help offer a step-by-step guide in helping to reduce the utilization of electronics in an effective manner. So when you set before yourself a task, it's not a bad idea to have a game plan. So the first thing is identifying why you would want to reduce your electronic usage. In other words, why is it that you want to accomplish this? Is it simply to improve communication among individuals that are actually with one another? Is it to improve sleep quality? Is it to increase productivity? Is it to spend more time engaging in other activities? Well, having clear goals will help one stay motivated to whatever enterprise it is that we've initiated upon. Now, it's very important that we track usage, right? And one first step is to track how much time one is currently spending on electronics every day. There are apps that are built in, features on one's devices that can monitor one's screen time. And this will give a solid baseline to work from and help identify patterns as well as areas for potential improvement. A very important theme when it comes down to the psychiatric space is establishing boundaries. And this is particularly germane here. By setting specific boundaries for when and how electronics are utilized, that'll actually help out greatly. Now, this might include designating certain times of the day as being electronics free. I was, quite interested in the fact that in the UK, kids can no longer bring portable electronics to their classrooms, or creating technology-free zones in one's home, such as the bedroom or the dining area, with the consideration of additional intimacy as we are having, meaningful conversation or discourse with people that are important to us. It's very important that we get this concept right. You've got to gradually decrease usage. You can't do it abruptly. Because, by the way, instead of going cold turkey, gradually reduce your electronic usage over time. Start by cutting back on non-essential screen time, such as scrolling through social media or watching TV. And, by the way, replacing electronic activities with healthier alternatives, including reading, exercising, or spending time outdoors. It's not a bad idea that we use technology wisely. We have to take advantage of technology, and that can actually help us in tapering off of electronics. We made mention that, if you're utilizing certain apps or features, they'll limit your screen time. They'll block distracting websites, and they'll track your progress toward that goal that you've set before yourself. But it's not a bad idea to set reminders to take breaks and step away from screens periodically. It's also very important that we find alternative activities. What's that mean? Well, we have to fill the time you would normally be spending on electronics with other activities that you either enjoy or find fulfilling. What might these be? Well, they could include hobbies. They could include spending time with loved ones. They could include pursuing personal interests or simply practicing mindfulness and relaxation techniques. Now, you have to monitor your progress. So it's not a bad idea to regularly assess how you're doing in relation to your goals, adjusting your approach as needed. And as we've discussed previously, celebrating milestones. Hey, you were able to accomplish something, celebrate it, treat yourself as you reduce that electronic usage and you establish healthier habits, because that then will help reinforce your intention of what you're trying to accomplish. And ultimately, the most important thing is maintaining balance. Remember that the goal is not to completely eliminate electronics from your life, but to find a healthy balance that works for you. You can't live in a fantasy world of snapshots where people actually show their most glamorous self. And trying to strive to keep up with that will ultimately burn people out. But strive for moderation and mindfulness in your electronic usage, and allow technology to enhance your life without it dominating you. So it's not a bad idea that as we collectively think about this, it should be useful to recognize that there's a potential negative effect of electronic use, to know the balance of technology consumption, and to acknowledge the influence of electronics on mental as well as physical well-being. So by practicing all of these particular steps, we might actually be able to accomplish that which we set for ourselves. Key strategies for tapering off of electronic use, not just for adolescents, but certainly also for some adults, include an understanding of the impact of electronic use, setting clear goals, creating boundaries and limits, and engaging in alternative activities. Ultimately, our mindset of gratitude and abundance will help us have a better grasp that it's important to find a balance between technology and real-world experiences. Ongoing reflection and adjustment to maintain healthy habits in the long term will ultimately help us feel a better sense of satisfaction. So hopefully through this videocast today, you've found the appropriate steps that are necessary in taking a gradual, mindful approach that will successfully help you taper off of electronics and create a healthier relationship with technology. I hope you have a phenomenal rest of the day, and thank you again for joining us on the Gus Alma Perspective.